tomorrow I head to Spain for the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. Okay. Hey, my name is Emily. I'm actually the host over at The Casual Puzzler, and my name for my channel is very fitting. I'm more of a casual puzzler. I'm a sipping tea at home, just chilling with the cats style of puzzler. So why am I going to Spain for the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships? That is a good question. All right, I think we need to get cozy for a second, so let me just prop you there. I'm going to the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships not to win. I want to make that very clear. I'm not going to be winning. Maybe I can get to semifinals. My goal is to just finish the puzzle, to be honest, but I'm going. I'm so excited to go, and I want to take you guys for the ride where you guys can see what it's like to be a puzzler at a World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships when you maybe aren't the fastest. If you want to see some speedy puzzling and you want to know more about like what it actually is and all the rules and such, I'll link last year's video that Sarah did down below because she goes into all the nitty-gritty. You can follow someone who's going to make it like from the beginning to the finals. Wish me luck. We're gonna head to Spain tomorrow, and this is going to be a fantastic trip.
After a very long 20-hour travel day, I ended up in Madrid, Spain at 6 a.m. the next day.
Excuse the hair, just landed after a very long day of travel, but almost to our hotel.
Our first day, we ended up staying in Madrid to, one, get adjusted to the time zone, but also we didn't want to travel so early on the train to Valladolid, so we spent the day sightseeing and hanging out with friends. We saw other puzzlers, and I fell in love with empanadas. The next day, we took a very quick train ride to Valladolid, which is a very small town up north. I was staying with my teammates in an Airbnb, which overlooked the town square, which was so much fun.
All right, I am in Valladolid and we are going to be going to the Dome. The Dome is where all the competitions are. So there are 3 levels of competition. We have individuals, pairs, and teams. I am competing in all 3. And today is really exciting because it is opening ceremonies, and we also have a dinner tonight as a full group. And it's just such a good vibe. Like you're just like walking down the street and seeing someone who's a puzzler and they're like, hey, hello. And it's been fun.
So after getting just a little lost, we ended up at the Dome, which is where all the competitions happen. It's a little bit smaller than you'd expect, but it was still really cool to be there.
Made it to the Dome eventually. Got a little bit off track. This is Leslie, by the way.
Hi.
We accidentally wore the same shirt.
Totally planned.
Yeah. So we'll be back here later tonight for opening ceremonies.
After meeting some new puzzle friends and being a part of the Ravensburger Reel, I ended up attending the opening ceremonies, which was packed. This year there was over 3,000 participants, which was double than 2023, and there were over 70 countries being represented.
The World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship 2024 is about to get underway!
After the opening ceremonies, we had teams of 8 compete for a trivia competition, which was way harder than you expect, but then afterwards we all went out to dinner where there was so much food. The meal was being hosted by the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships, and you could reserve in advance, but there were so many people and there were so many different interesting local cuisines, which was really fun to try. Some was good, some was weird, but in general it was just a fantastic night with other puzzlers.
Good morning. Last night we had an incredible dinner with everybody, and now I'm on my way to do the USA Jigsaw team photo. Bet you can't spot the Americans.
After quite a few photos near the Valladolid sign and getting about 90 people together to take a team picture, we had a little team meeting with all the USA people, and we were able to see who was competing against the Guinness World Record, which was just around the corner. This is the 2,000-piece puzzle that they needed to complete within 1 hour and 24 minutes.
3, 2, 1.
Each country had 10 people on their team to try to complete the puzzle within the time frame, and the US by far surpassed everybody at 49 minutes and 13 seconds, beating the Guinness World Record.
So the USA beat
the Guinness World Record in just over 44 minutes, which is absolutely wild. And what's been really fun about coming here is that you're running into puzzlers everywhere you go. I was just walking down and met Cosmo, Andrew, and Lorelei, who actually live really close to me. There's actually a huge amount of people, well, not huge, but a decent amount of people who live all within like an hour of us in Washington. And so we had like a little group photo. I did meet my pairs partner. He's going on a tour this afternoon, so hopefully we can practice together as well. But in general, it's just been so fun and I'm tired. And then in the evening, my team and I did a little practice run while watching the live of the individual rounds, and then Frank and I ended up doing a little practice run with this one.
Today is the big day. I'm competing in individuals and pairs, and yeah, I'm on my way to go compete in individuals. It's getting real now. There's the dome. Ah! So I'm just sitting and waiting for my time to come up. They're still in the group before me, and I'm excited. I'm nervous. I've met a few people when I was just waiting here, and it's just so much fun to just like randomly see other puzzlers walking down the street or talking in front of the dome. It's so cool, but trying to like get excited, you know. I'm sure I'll do okay. I'm sure I'll finish, hopefully, but we'll see.
There were 6 rounds of individual prelims, and I was in the final one. So this is what it looks like on the competition floor, where each person has a shared table. There were around 193 people per round, and you had 90 minutes to complete a 500-piece puzzle. My spot on the floor was right next to this huge group of people, which actually was kind of frustrating while puzzling because some people were even like leaning over the table and like blocking my light, which was not very fun. I do wish there was a little bit of a buffer between the table and the barrier just so people weren't as close as they were, but let's just go into the puzzle that I was able to get. This puzzle was very bright and colorful, but definitely trickier than you'd expect. I did not end up finishing the puzzle. The first place was Alejandro, which at the time was the reigning champion, and he finished within like 34 minutes. I did not complete my puzzle. In fact, I actually had 4 duplicate pieces, which definitely stumped me while I was doing the puzzle, so that was not very cool. But I also got stumped on the words at the end. That is the area that a lot of people struggled with, but in general, it was super fun to compete.
So I just finished the individuals round, and I did not finish my puzzle, which is fine. It was a hard one. There's a lot of people who didn't finish either. I think I had 61 pieces left, but what was frustrating while I was doing it is I found 4 duplicate pieces, so that was annoying. I don't think it takes into account at all for the judging, but I definitely got stuck on them for a little bit. Anyways, I have a few hours before I have to go back in, but I'm going to try and find some food and probably go back to the room, and then we'll do pairs later.
And just a couple hours later, it was time for our pairs competition.
Back at the dome for pairs, and Frankie's, I can see him from here. I think we're in the same exact table as we were that I was for individuals, so wish me luck.
Here is my teammate Frank. We had only practiced together one time the night before, so we were just hoping to finish the puzzle within the 75-minute time frame. For the pairs prelim, you had 75 minutes to complete a 500-piece puzzle, and there was 4 rounds of competition. We definitely had to sprint with this super cute puzzle because it was on the easier side, so that meant everybody had a pretty easy puzzle. Frank had started on the pink flowers, I started with the trees, and then in the end we joined up together. And we did actually finish our puzzle within the time frame, and we were pretty happy with our time at 52 minutes and 42 seconds. 90 teams got to go further within the competition, but even though we got in the top 90, we didn't get to go on to the next qualifying round. They had a rule where they wanted 45 different countries in the next semifinals, so even though we were able to make it with our time, there was other teams that were able to surpass us because they were from countries that weren't being represented. It was kind of a bummer to be one of the teams that was bummed because of this rule. I understand it, but in our round, we even had people who didn't finish the puzzle advance over us. But in general, it is what it is. Still fun to compete and say that I finished a puzzle at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. It was a super fun puzzle and we had a great time.
I'm just sitting here in the plaza having some lunch. Currently, the semifinals are happening for individuals, and then later on is semifinals per pair. So I'll probably go in and check that out, see what's happening. I've been following along on the live, so I do know who's been streaming ahead, and it's wild how fast some of these puzzlers are, so it's just been fun. I'm just about to go down to the Dome. I'm gonna watch some semifinals for a bit, and I'm currently in my little outfit for my team's event, and it just makes me so happy. So I'll show you the leggings, and got my red lip on, and I'm gonna go down. I'm probably gonna start with the market because 3 hours for a team's event seems really long to not have a snack on hand. So I'm gonna grab a snack, maybe one of those little iced coffee things, and go to the Dome. Sorry if this is a weird angle, but look at these leggings. They just have like a whole bunch of Canadian things. The flag, the bear, ice skates, mousse, maple syrup. It just is so fun. All right, here's my Canadian team. We got Ula, Jill, and Jenna, and we're coming up with some strategies which may work, may not. So we're about to head in.
After taking our team photo, we went into the competition area, and you could see the 4 puzzles that you had to decide between before the competition started. So you have 90 seconds to choose which 2 puzzles you are going to try to complete within the 3-hour time frame. We were in Group A, which definitely had not the best of choices. We first up had this cow, which looked super cute, but I thought it was going to print dark, and it ended up being really hard to complete. There was also this really beautiful castle one, which also looked pretty tough. We chose to do this one, which was the really beautiful garden scene. However, we wanted to start off with the harder puzzle first, which was this desert scene. So I don't know if we chose the right one. We just thought there was a lot of different textures, and I knew the sky was going to be easy. And I would just say there was no easy answer because all 4 puzzles looked really tough. And it definitely was a tough round because only 22 teams actually completed both puzzles within the time frame, and that was out of 98 teams. We ended up finishing pretty well. We ended up finishing 1 puzzle, which was our goal. We finished the cactus puzzle and got 36 pieces in the second puzzle, which placed us in 76th place. And after the 3 hours of competing, we still went out for a celebratory dinner afterwards.
And I just wanted to give you an update about last night's team event. Our goal was to only finish 1 puzzle, and we did by just like 5 minutes to spare. So we did end up getting like an extra 36 pieces in of the second puzzle, which actually did bump us up a little bit, but we were just happy that we were able to complete 1. All 4 images were so hard. You either had 3 landscapes or the cow one. But any option you had, you would be struggling because all of them were pretty tough. This morning though, it looks like they have a lot more variety and easier images. So I'm kind of like wishing I got one of those, but you also have to think like you're either doing something really difficult and it's all about endurance, or you're doing something that's a sprint because everyone has an easier puzzle and you had to be the fastest at it. So I don't know which way I'd rather have, but you know what? We didn't finish last. We finished 1 of our puzzles, and I'm just happy about that considering we've only puzzled together once. So, you know, it is what it is.
After my time competing, it was a lot of me just watching all the other events, including the finals. Here's a little glimpse of the team's final, and it was so much fun just to watch and partake and root on other puzzlers. There are so many fast, speedy people out there, and it was just so much fun to watch. After all the competitions, we did have the closing ceremonies where we got to see the winners. Shout out to the USA where we won in both the pairs and teams. And then afterwards, it's just chaos of taking pictures with other puzzlers and friends that you made along the way.
Don't mind how shiny I am. I just got back from closing ceremonies, and afterwards it's just like chaos of everyone just like taking pictures and hanging out one last time before heading back. Some people are leaving right now, some people are staying for a while. I leave tomorrow morning, so I need to figure out what to do with all these puzzles. Holy smokes. I thought I was doing really well, and then all of a sudden I need a new suitcase.
After 29 hours of travel and several days later, I am back home and recuperating from the time change. And can I just say, this was a fantastic trip. Oh my goodness. Now, as you saw, I did not get very far in the competitions. I didn't get through the first round. So you're probably still wondering why I even attended, knowing I wasn't going to get very far in the competitions. And that's because of the social aspect. There's so much more stuff to do than just compete at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. For one, you're in Spain. You're in a foreign country. You can explore, you can try new foods, you can hang out with people. You also get to meet other puzzlers. Some I actually
met live only 25 minutes from me, and I had no idea. So I met some new puzzle friends. Some I had only met online and been interacting with each other for years, and I finally get to see them in person. Some people I've met maybe once or twice at other puzzle events, and it's always fun to see them again. And then there, of course, is more new faces, and it's just so much fun to be a part of the puzzle community. And then yeah, if you want to do the competitions, it's super fun to participate, even if you aren't going to get far. You can say that you participated, you can say that you went to the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. Now I have to say a huge thank you to Completing the Puzzle for making this trip a reality for me. It was definitely something I will never forget, and it was so much fun. Now if you want to know more of the social aspect and other stuff that I did during this trip, go ahead and look at my channel, which is The Casual Puzzler, and I go into all the background stuff and the other things that I did outside of the competitions during this trip. So I hope to see you over there. If not, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to know if this is something that you would consider doing yourself, whether you're a speed puzzler or not. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and follow Completing the Puzzle on their socials, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye guys.